Well, welcome, folks. This is Sty North. I'm out here on my spring hike. Today is a day of pleasure. I'm just out here loving the outdoors, hiking around, checking our territory out a little bit. Just couldn't stay put at the homestead on a day like today. It's at least 60 degrees, not a cloud in the sky. Beautiful, beautiful weather. Well, this video is kind of a follow-up. It's called, well, what am I calling it? I guess it's called the clear-cut clarification. Oops, oh boy, my hiking stick just popped through the beaver dam. There we go. So what I wanted to do is I wanted to do a short little video to clarify some things about my clear-cut video. One of my subscribers, and he kind of brought something to my attention, and I'm concerned that other viewers may have taken me wrong or misunderstood my intentions and the context in which I said certain things in that clear cut. And that's in reference to the logging industry. Now, I did say in that video that it used to be such a beautiful woods, and now it's gone. It's totally clear cut, and it's just covered with slash, and it's going to take years and years for that to come back to its original state. And that was a shame. Now I want to clarify something. When I said that was a shame, I didn't mean it was a shame that the loggers went in there and logged. I really don't. I worked in the logging industry. I worked for other logging companies. I did independent thinning contracts for the Forest Service out in northern Idaho. I did selective logging contracts where we went in and I would buy cedar stumpage out west, and it was low impact logging. You had to either go in by hand and bring it all out by hand, or you had to use, the best you could do is use horses. And I worked for logging companies where we did it the standard way. We were out there. I was a sawyer, and we went out there and we cut. You just cut and cut, cut. Now out there we would do 1,000-acre contract was common. And some of them were replanting contracts where we had to replant after we were done. Some of them were not. It all depended on where the job was at. Now here in Wisconsin, very rarely do we see a replanting requirement. Just so that's understood. When I say that it's going to take anywhere from 15 to 30 years for that clear cut to come back to where what I remember it to be, that's not an exaggeration, because we don't go back in and replant. Most of these woods regenerate themselves in poplar, maple, birch, some pine. So it's a mixed affair of woods that ends up growing there. It makes for a nice diverse stand of timber. But it comes back naturally on its own. It's not replanted. So it takes a long time for it to regenerate. First, all the brush grows in. And then as the more dominant trees start to grow, the brush starts to die back, and then you end up with the forest floor. And at the same time, all of that slash is slowly degrading into the ground. So just, again, for clarification, I fully support the logging industry as long as it's responsible logging. I do not believe in it's a renewable resource, so we should be able to cut it all, because it'll grow back. So we should just go out there and cut it all. No, I don't agree with that. I believe in selective, responsible harvest. And I believe that's what goes on today. I also believe that our government and special interest groups tend to interfere with that process. There's a lot of logging that could occur that does not because of governmental regulations and or special interests. Now, people will say, well, the loggers have a special interest because they want to make the money. Well, that's true. But for some of these loggers, it's multi-generational industry for them. It's their way of life. We can't be taking people's ways of life away from them because we never want to see a tree cut down. We can't cut down all of the trees because so many of us love the forest. So I believe in a balance between the two, but I don't believe there should be any hostility or negative attacks between either side. And as I said, I work the industry. I believe in the industry. I believe in responsibility. I believe in protecting our forests. Now, protecting our forests does not mean no logging. Logging is a necessity. And yes, it is a renewable resource. And when I said it was a shame at that clear cut, that was a selfish statement. I didn't mean it was a shame that the loggers came in and logged it all. It's terrible, blah, blah, blah. What the shame was is I liked that patch of woods. I liked it the way it was. I hiked around in there for years. It was beautiful in there. But now it's gone. So that's a shame. It's a shame it's gone. But now it's going to turn into something new. And I'm sure that I'm going to learn to love it and enjoy it as I did in the past, just not in the same way. So I hope that clarifies some issues about that clear-cut video. And please, if you feel that I say something that is upsetting or you don't agree with, just remember, we're all individuals. We all have different ideas. We all feel different ways. I can't please everybody. I'm sure that now somebody's going to say, oh, well, now you support logging, so now cut all the forest down. Well, no, then that means that you aren't listening to me. And the fact of the matter is that all things in its time, all things in its place, and all done responsibly. I am a true believer of holding ourselves and each other responsible for our actions. So that's it. That's Stye's take on his clear-cut video. And I'm sorry for any viewers out there that misunderstood my position on that clear-cut. So, but hey, look at this. Isn't this beautiful? We're out at the beaver pond. There's that big old massive beaver hut. Big family in there. And we got another one started over there about half that size. It's spring. I'm loving it. Beavers don't like me here. Before I started the film, one came out and he was just smacking his tail there. He just madder than the dickens that I was here. So, this is Stye North. Big Jim and Rory say hello. You all have a nice day.